The cinema is the story of Robert Tom Carter breaking into a safe, as this is the last heist he is planning to undertake. He later goes to save his dollars at a self-storage warehouse where he meets Annie Wilkins, a grad student. As Tom makes to make an honest living, himself chatting Annie, and she seems to find him charming. 1 year later, Tom and Annie are in a relationship. He brings her to an apartment he wants to buy for them, but they are technically breaking in. She loves the place, and he is get ready to create a stable future for the two of them. In FBI headquarters, FBI agent Myers goes to work with his dog. He tells his superior, Agent Baker, that he is going through a divorce, and that his wife is letting him keep the dog. Moments later, Tom calls the office to turn himself in and reveal himself as the In-N-Out Bandit, along with complain that he hates that moniker. Since the FBI has received multiple bandit declarations, they don't believe him and ask why he wants to turn himself in. He tells them he is in love with Annie and that he wants a fresh start. Baker refused to accept and even sends other agents John Nivens and Ramon Hall to interview Tom. When the two agents reach at Tom's apartment, he tells them about a storage unit containing all the money he has hidden from past robberies. The agents go to the storage unit and are stunned to discover that Tom was telling the truth since he has millions of dollars kept there. Nivens attempts to get Hall in on a scheme where they pocket the money themselves, since Nivens knows Hall needs extra money to support his family. Hall unwillingly goes along with it, while Annie visits, and they lie by saying that they know Tom. He sends them for shifting his things to his new apartment. The agents return to Tom's apartment. Nivens takes out his gun in an attempt to kill Tom right there and steal the money, but the plan is interrupted when Baker came at the apartment. On impulse, Nivens shoots and kills Baker. Tom fights Nivens and Hall, leading him to fall out a window with Nivens, just as Annie is coming to see Tom. Though she is shocked, Tom tells her to run as they get away from the corrupt agents. In the meantime, Nivens and Hall drive away trying to cover up the story, with Nivens wanting to frame Tom. Hall also knows Tom took his gun. Tom drives Annie to safety, but he is forced to come clean then and there about his past as a thief. He tells Annie the truth but says he truly wants to do right by her. She is highly dismayed at this news, even as Tom tries to be approaching about his intentions. Nivens and Hall chase them on the road until Tom's car crashes. He and Annie hide out in a parking garage until they lose Nivens, and Tom takes another car to get away. At the same time, Myers goes to the apartment to discover Baker's body. Tom and Annie go to a playground for the time being. She is quite angry at learning his truth. He tells her about how his father lost his job after the CEO of his company misappropriated from the employees, and his father committed suicide by driving a high speed into a tree. Tom later robbed from the same CEO. He states that robbing gave him life, but the whole thing changed when he met Annie. She gradually starts to forgive him, and he sends her home safe. The next day morning, Myers studies Tom's past with Nivens and Hall after the former agent lies to Myers about who killed Baker. They learn that his real last name is Dolan and that he was a Marine, which is where he learned about explosives and demolition. At the same time, Tom digs up information on Nivens. Annie calls Tom about getting footage from the storage warehouse that would involve Nivens and Hall and stealing the money. When Annie tries to get it, Nivens came and attacks her. Although Annie attempts to escape, Nivens knocks her out. He tries to shoot her dead, but Hall intrudes and takes the security footage from Annie. Tom reaches and finds Annie, then takes her to a hospital. He later contacts Nivens and Hall, and Myers listens in from his own phone. Tom calls out Nivens for attacking Annie, but he refutes it, and Tom promises to go after him. A nearby officer suspects Tom and chases after him. Nivens and Hall get message of this and chase as well. Tom hides until the other cop goes away and he sees the agents, and he backs his van to hit their car. Nivens shoots at Tom, but he runs away and loses him. He runs into Myers and briefly fights him until he assures him that he is on his side and that he didn't kill Baker. After he tells Myers about Annie being hospitalized, the agent goes to sit in her room, where he later spots Nivens coming to finish the job, but he leaves after seeing Myers. Later that night, Hall is in bed with his wife Beth chatting some of his personal feelings. He then goes to the garage where he is trapped by Tom. Hall tells him everything was completely Nivens' doing, and he gives Tom the security footage. He also warns Tom that Nivens is going to try and kill Annie, so he goes to visit her and sees that she is awake. He is able to get her out and bring her to a safe room. Annie joins Tom as he goes after Nivens. He makes a bomb in his house and warns him with enough time to run out before he blows up the house. Tom knew Nivens would lead him to the space where he and Hall are keeping their stolen loot, while Annie waits for Myers at the storage warehouse to find the rest of Tom's money. Tom brings Hall to Nivens' apartment, when he knows that Hall gave the security footage Tom, which leading to a shootout in which Hall is killed. Nivens tries to escape again and drives away in his car until Tom calls him and tells that he set another bomb in his car, which is pressure sensitive and will detonate with the slightest movement. Hall was wearing a device with which he caught Nivens' confession to Baker's murder as well as Nivens' murder of Hall. Nivens has no choice but to pull over and wait for the bomb squad to arrive. When they get there, they see that the bomb is a dummy. Myers has Nivens arrested and recovers the stolen money from his car. Later, Myers receives a recording where Nivens and Hall explicitly discuss having killed Baker, and with Nivens carrying stolen money. Outside FBI headquarters, Annie speaks to Myers, asking him to go easy on Tom. Tom himself calls Myers to turn himself in, and Myers agrees to try and help Tom get a lighter sentence. Myers expresses his respect for Tom's actions in both taking down Nivens and turning himself in for Annie, suggesting that in other circumstances, Tom would make a good FBI agent. Tom and Annie then embrace. Thank you for watching this video. Do not forget to subscribe our channel, like, share and hit your comments.